What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Broadway Joel, the voice of Dominican boxing. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And if you have been here before, thanks for coming back. So before we get into the whole Canelo Charlo press conference and all that and how that went, I kind of wanted to talk about Alycia Baumgarner. The reason why I'm skipping the importance. Well, I should have made the title also Canelo Charlo, but that's fine. You guys are hop on. I wanted to talk about Alycia Baumgarner testing positive. The reason that's relevant because her last fight was against our Dominican La Reina Dominicana, Cristina Leonardo. So that's the reason why I'm covering it. So I wanted to start off the show with that. Then we'll talk some Canelo Charlo, as well as my experience over there and how everything went. So I want to put up what she tested positive for and exactly how this possibly could have gotten her system, and we'll take it from there. So the drug that she allegedly tested positive for is called mestrolone. So when you look at it, when you type in mestrolone for women, according to walkintechnologies.com, it is one such application is in the treatment of certain forms of hormone related breast cancer. It has shown promise in reducing estrogen levels and inhibiting the growth of estrogen dependent tumors, potentially aiding in the management of this condition. So, from what I understand, unless she has breast cancer or is, I don't know if this can be used as a preventative manner. I'm not quite sure of, but unless she is has breast cancer, there's no reason as to why this should be in her system. It's unfortunate, I'm not sure how much that helped her. And also, I want to know, how is that consumed? Is that a tablet or is that? Uh, I'm a Google. Is that a tablet or is that an injection? How is consumed? Let me see. If, yeah, it's taken by mouth, so it's a pill. It's a pill. It's a pill. So she apparently took these pills that help lower her estrogen levels, and this is in the banned systems for a reason. If I'm not mistaken, most of the time, oh man, my mic input. What the hell happened? Hold on 1 second. All right, much better, much better. Right? I hope you guys hear me now. I put the correct mic now. Yeah, no. So from what I've seen is there's no way this should be in her body. This is something that's usually used for men who have low testosterone levels and want to have children, if I'm not mistaken, from what my research has done. And she's not a male. And then when you look at for why it's used for females, it's used for breast cancer. So this shouldn't be in her system. It's unfortunate. Maybe she has an explanation. Maybe these tests aren't true because the Michigan State Athletic Commission did not release a statement whatsoever. So there's still some stuff that we got to hear before we call her a cheat and call her, say she's stripped or anything like that. I see somebody asking, is she suspended? Right now, we're still not 100% sure she tested positive, and if she did, we're still not 100% sure that she has some legitimate excuse. But from what it looks like, I don't think she's gonna get away with this one. I think she's gonna end up getting stripped of all her titles, and I do think she is gonna be suspended. And it's unfortunate. So apparently she tested positive before the fight, but they didn't get the results until after. So what was the point of testing her if you're not gonna get the results till after the fight? Like, God forbid she goes in there and hurts this lady when the people who tested her knew that she tested positive. So it's like, I mean, excuse me, could have known that she tested positive. When you get those those blood and urine samples, you got to test those right away because you need to know if that athlete is having an unfair advantage. And she went in there and she dominated the fight. Now, did the PEDs help? I don't know, but hey, listen, it definitely can't hurt. It definitely can't hurt. So I'm leaning towards she knowingly did it just because of what that drug is used for and why it could be in her body. But we'll see. Again, we can't cast judgment until we have all the information. She has not put out a statement. Like, she has not spoken, put it like that. The commission has not given out a statement. Lou DiBella said that he heard the news, contacted the Michigan State Athletic Commission, and that they told him he needs to file a like a Freedom of Information Literature Act or some shit like that. He got to submit. So I'm like, damn. Like, Michigan is a state that keeps their suspensions private for whatever reason. So again, the news is not 100% out, but once, I'm assuming, Lou DiBella gets his information, files that claim he needs to, and gets all the information, I'll have more information. But yeah, man, yesterday was the Canelo Charlo press conference in New York, and today was the Los Angeles one. The one in New York I was at, as some of you know, I put up a video of Joan Guzman and Raul Marquez as well. Those are the two videos I put up. I will be putting out some more interviews. I interviewed Carlos Adames. I got some footage of Charlo and Canelo. So I definitely gonna feed my public. Don't worry about it. But yeah, man, I was more surprised how much respect Charlo had for Canelo. As soon as they did the face-to-face, they shook hands. They were very respectful of each other. And he called him a legend and all that. And, we all know Charlo to be, super tough and, and talk and stuff like that. And, man, the vibe I got from Charlo was really good. Like, he struck me as a real dude. And that's one of the few things just in society we got. I was gonna say boxing, but not even in boxing, and just in society, we don't really get real answers, real people. We don't get. I feel like sometimes you talking to, I want to come across as a tough guy. So you talking to somebody who's trying to come across as a tough guy, or somebody's really shy, and that's just who they are, and they really don't give you too much. Man, he was very honest. He was very raw. He answered every question. Like, at one point, somebody was like, man, I'm surprised you're not talking your shit. Like you usually talk your shit. And he goes, oh, what, you want this big ghetto dude to just start screaming and barking? He's like, no, sometimes, you got to know how to conduct yourself and do this and that. And I really like how he came across. He came across as a really, really, like, man. He came across as a real man. That's probably the best way I could put it. Definitely held his own, but like, was respectful and was honest with all his answers. I really like how he responded to the questions and all that. It was really good. I actually didn't get as much footage of them as much as I wanted to. I unfortunately, and this is something I got to learn for the future, I got stuck translating for Carlos Adames for a few people, and by that point, I kind of missed my opportunity to get where I can ask questions. I got footage of them just talking. I don't got nothing with me asking questions because I got caught up translating. Next time, I'm not doing that. I'm going to be like, yo, bro, I'm not a translator. I'm coming here to get footage. But that's a lesson learned. That's a lesson learned, man. I definitely, even so, I still got good footage. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw my interview with Joan Guzman. That was a really good one. He was definitely talking his shit. He was making mention like, yo, we need to do an interview, me and you again, and we calm. So it was doing really well. That interview went real well. The Raul Marquez was short, and I got a couple other ones that you guys are gonna enjoy. So for sure, man. But I'm excited for the fight. Listen, I got to size both of them up. They seem. I'm talking about like weight wise, not height and reach. Height and reach is clearly Charlo, but I'm talking about weight wise. They seem kind of not too different. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Canelo, like, there's no way you saw them both and you knew who was a 68 pounder. Like, you would look at him and I still think that Canelo has a size advantage in the sense that he's fought in these divisions for a while. So he already knows how to carry the weight. He's already been hit by bigger men. He already knows how to make that way. He's very comfortable. This is his element, as opposed to this guy skipping 60 all the way to 68. And when I interviewed Joan, I was like, oh, do you guys plan to come a little lighter, 63, 64 or something? He was like, nah, we plan on coming to 68. We're not giving this guy that 1 pound of advantage. So we'll see how big he blows up. And if size at all matters in this fight, which I don't think is gonna play too much a part because like I'm trying to think like right. So Charlo's game plan for what it seems is gonna be like he's gonna be moving, he's gonna be fighting with defense and trying to do that Joan Guzman style with defense and stuff like that. At that, if you're planning a fight like that, your size in terms of your mass really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you trying to make this an inside fight or you trying to dog it out with him, or Canelo's like somebody who's like kind of like a mauling type style. Not really. Canelo's more of a precision fighter who walks forward and doesn't really use a jab. Kind of try to left hook his way in and try to fight on the inside. But if you're moving around, his size is not going to have too much of effect on that fight. So, but I'm really looking forward to it. This is Joan Guzman, big opportunity. He's fighting, a top 5 pound for pound. Yeah, I saw Canelo. Canelo shouted out my man Joan Guzman. He was like, man, you were one of the fighters that I studied on my come up. That was dope. That was really dope. and Joan Guzman was kind of hype about that. He was like, you saw that? You saw that? I was like, yeah, I saw it. I saw it. So that was dope. Him getting his love on one of the biggest stage, right? That's Canelo, the face of boxing, shouting him out, letting people know, yo, this dude was nasty. And after the press conference, I saw Eddie Reynoso like, yo, can I get a picture with you? Showing him love. So shout out to Joan Guzman. He got a Dominican boxing shirt. I hope he wear. That would be dope if he wear it for the fight. If he wear it for the fight, I'm gonna ask him to. I'm gonna be like, yo, can you wear that to the fight? But they probably gonna make him wear like whatever colors the Jermel wearing. But that would be dope if let's say Jermel wearing, the Dominican colors, but not because to rep DR, just because, and Joan wear that shirt. That'd be dope. That'd be super dope. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Yo, last Saturday, I was totally wrong, by the way. I picked Valdez to win by knockout, and Manuel Navarrete was doing some shit on him, bro. He beat the crap out of that dude. I do think that Oscar Valdez fought a stupid fight. He had a lot of opportunities where he could have countered, where he was making Navarrete miss a lot, but not making him pay for when he missed, as well as he stopped using that power jab later down in the fight, where I thought he should have just kept using it. Like after like the 4th or 5th round, I felt like he stopped using it. I was like, what happened? It was so effective. But I gotta give credit to Navarrete. I'm not a big fan of his style, but seeing him this Saturday, now I understand why he's so effective. He reminds me a lot of Luis Alberto Lopez and if I'm not mistaken, they used to be gym mates. But I just thought Luis Alberto Lopez had a little bit more better feet. So because I've seen Bernardo bounce on the outside, move around, and box that way. I never seen Navarrete fight like that. Although in this fight, he did have good defensive movements with just kind of leaning back because he's really tall and kind of moving his head. And he wasn't really ducking too much, but he was kind of leaning back and he was catching shit with his gloves. His defense was definitely a lot better than I think it was. And I didn't know he was that big. He looked way bigger than Oscar Valdez. It almost seems like Valdez was the one who just moved up. It was pretty impressive what Navarrete did last Saturday. Man, he definitely has an argument for being the best 130. Man, 130 pounds is a really interesting division. Bringing it back to Dominican boxing, man. The Hector Luis Garcia that fought Roger Gutierrez. Yo, no 130 beats that version of Hector Luis Garcia. But I don't know if that Hector Luis Garcia still exists. I'll be honest with you. But, hey, man, he's a player. He has an argument. He probably has the best resume at 130 if you really think about it. He beat Colbert as an underdog on short notice, who was ranked number 5 in the Ring magazine. He dominated him. A top 5 fighter dominated. And then Roger Gutierrez was ranked number 3, and then he dominates him in back-to-back fights at 130. That might be the best resume at 130. Now, in ability, yo, listen, you can look at Navarrete's awkward skills as abilities. You know what I'm saying? And he is a power puncher, and and he is a very uncomfortable fighter. Also, you have Oshaki Foster, who a lot of people rave about his talent, and I've had Jake Donovan on here where he said he thinks Oshaki Foster may be the best. Also, Erison Garcia, my co-host, La Esquina Dominicana, he told me, that he thinks Oshaki Foster is the best. And then you got Navarrete. Navarrete has an argument. Joe Cordina. Joe Cordina from the UK. He nice, man. He got skills, got power. Was just at a Fight of the Year candidate earlier this year. It was actually the same day as Tank Ryan. Like, man, 130 is a really, really interesting division. I would love to see more of them mix it up, but it's like a lot of them on different sides of the street. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, man, I'm gonna put the link in the chat, man. Anybody wants to call in, man, y'all know how we do here. Hit that link, man. Pop in, talk, chop it up with Broadway, and we let's get the show popping, man. Let's get the show popping. By the way, I'm loving the support, man. Shout out to everybody who went to BroadwayJoel.com and bought a Dominican boxing shirt, man. Y'all have how much I appreciate that. That definitely makes me feel very good that you guys, not only that you guys are supporting, and loving the product is what I love most. It's like that's what I'm like. Oh, okay, these people they telling me like, yo, the quality is dope, and I wore it. People were asking me where I bought it. That's dope shit. So if you haven't went to BroadwayJoel.com and bought a Dominican boxing shirt because you are uncertain about the quality, just know the customer reviews. I haven't gotten one complaint yet. Everybody loves it. And again, man, look, man, don't act like don't act like you haven't even thought about buying one. Look, you know what I'm saying? This is like your jersey. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you're a Yankee fan, wear your Yankee jersey, even though the Yankees, they haven't been doing good, man. I'll be honest with you. You know, we could let me not get started on my Yankees. I'm gonna have to start ranting over here, but whatever. Same way you throw on your Yankee jersey or your Knicks hat or whatever. This is your Dominican boxing jersey. You rocking it, you know. What's up, man? I'm repping my team. Hector Luis Garcia is supposed to make a mandatory defense. Yeah, so he's supposed to. He TGB Promotions, which represents pretty much PBC, won the purse bid. That was a long time ago. Hector Luis Garcia is in Las Vegas, but he hasn't gotten there. He hasn't been there too long. So his training camp just started. So I know Lamont Roach, when I interviewed him, he was ready. He wanted the fight to be on the Spence Crawford undercard, and he was very hype and excited and saying he was prepared. But I would love to. I would love for them to finally announce a date because, Hector Luis Garcia has fans, as you see. You're asking, he has fans, and people want to know. Okay, what's up? Like when is he gonna fight again? I know he took a loss. We said we were gonna still support him, but yeah, in order to still support him, he has to fight. I'm hoping he comes back still hungry. That's my worry. He did get a big fat lump of check in his last fight, so you know what I'm saying. I'm hoping that didn't soften him up. That didn't make him comfortable. I'm hoping he just like, nah, I'm good, bro. Like I'm still back to working. Edwin De Los Santos, he don't got a date. There's nothing new. Yo, you ask every week. Nah, nothing new with Edwin, man. Edwin is he just fought. He just fought in July, so there's nothing brewing. And it's looking like Frank Martin is gonna fight Shakur Stevenson. That's not official, so don't go reporting that. Broadway Joel said is official. No. I said that's looking like it's gonna happen next. But and I was hoping that fight could be for Edwin. So I gotta look at. I'm gonna go on BoxRec now. Who could he fight? What's a realistic fight? Shit. I mean, he could fight. I don't know. Zaru Abdullayev, I guess. Damn, because I'm looking, a lot of shit don't make sense. It's across the street. It's on the other side of the street. All this. Yeah, man. Ah, man. Yeah, nah. He's not gonna have much options. We're not gonna like his next opponent. If if Frank Martin fights Shakur Stevenson, yeah, we're not gonna like his next opponent because that's the guy we were keying on. Like, all right, give Frank Martin to Edwin, and we could do that. But I'm looking. Because look, Javante, he's not getting a Javante Davis fight. Devin, he's not getting that. Shakur, no. Vasil Lomachenko, no. George Kambosos, no. Zepeda, no. Murataya, Ryan Garcia, Frank Martin, those are both no's. Yoshino, I mean, I guess, but whatever. Pitbull might get that, that tank fight. So you get what I'm saying? Like Pitbull might get that tank fight. Yeah, so he's not gonna have a lot of options. I mean, hopefully Pitbull don't get the tank fight, but after that, there's not really anybody who he can fight that really would excite the fan base, which is unfortunate because I feel like anytime I'm live, his name comes up often, and people buzzing often. People like really want to see him. They think he's a really good fighter, and I actually agree. It's just fortunately, the the opponents that are available are not really going to be available to him, whether it be due to being on the other side of the street or that they have a bigger fight that's looming. Like in the case of Frank Martin, who looks like he's going to fight Shakur. In the case of Pitbull, it looks like he's going to fight Tank. But damn, man, I ain't do all that math in my head before. I did that just right now. I'm looking. I'm like, damn, we might not like his name. It might be Francisco Patera. It might be Artem Hertuyan, somebody like that. It may be one of those guys because that's honestly that's probably who I would give him. I would give him that Artem dude, Artem Hertuyan, whatever, the guy who just lost to Frank Martin. He's still ranked in the top 10 in the WBC. Fight him. Hold on, let me put up the rankings. Fight him and just keep moving up the rankings. That's the best you could do. And then, then you'll also have a common opponent with Frank Martin. Let me look it up. Yeah, Artem is ranked 14th in the WBC. So you're fighting a ranked opponent. You know what I'm saying? So that will move you up. Or you can fight Zarul Abdullayev, who's ranked number 13. And, again, that's another one. You fighting a ranked opponent, you're going to move up. So that's probably what's looking next for him. By the way, if anybody wants to talk to me, ask a question, or just chop it up, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Pitbull did terrible in his last fight. He has no chance versus Shakur based off that last performance. Or Edwin De Los Santos. He definitely don't got a chance. Yo, Edwin will box his fucking world up. And Edwin cracking hard, he'll fucking beat the shit out of Pitbull, man. I'll be honest with you. And I don't think Pitbull's a bad fighter, to be honest with you. I like a lot of people trash him, but I don't think he's a bad fighter. I just think that he got that opportunity against Tank, got some fame, right? And instead of like going like, all right, now I'm gonna fight somebody tough just to keep building up my resume, my name, and respect, he just chose to fight bums. And it's like, well, whether you say him or his team, but point is, he has to have some say in his career. Like, you gotta be like, what? You got me fighting this guy? Like, no, give me this guy. This guy's, and my name will come up. I beat him. You know what I'm saying? He needs to. I'm a little hard on the fighters in the sense that, like, if your resume is trash, don't blame it on your manager or your promoter. At some point, you got to be like, yo, what are we doing here? I'm not satisfied with the kind of opponents you've given me. I want to prove I'm the best. And that's the kind of attitude I like. But, not everybody has that attitude. And Pitbull is pretty clear he's not one of them. But yeah, man, getting back to me getting credentialed for the Canelo Charlo press conference. You know what I was thinking to myself while I was there? I was like, damn, I've gotten credentials for Tank, Ryan, Spence Crawford, and now Canelo Charlo. I'm like, Damn, man. Like, I'm at these legendary press conferences, you know, that Tank Ryan say whatever you want. Oh, gimmick fight, catch weight, rehydration clause. That was a big fight in this moment. You know what I'm saying? Then Spence versus Crawford is undisputed. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get bigger than that. And then this, you know, undisputed versus undisputed. And I was there to cover all three events. It's pretty dope. Pretty dope that it's happened this way. So I'm excited as to what's to come next, as to what other press conferences I'm gonna be covering. But just knowing I have a good relationship with PBC, that they approve me for these press conferences and certain fights, especially when there's Dominicans fighting, is pretty dope. It's a pretty dope feeling. Which I'm hoping Michelle Rivera comes back on Canelo's undercard, but from what I'm hearing, he's gonna come back in October. That's the word in the street. No word on the opponent, but it most likely the fight will either be at the full 140 or at 138. We're still not 100% sure, so we're trying to figure that out. I'm trying to, you know, push a button and ask certain people and trying to get that information. But you know how it be. You know how it be. But I'm liking this, man. I'm liking this year so far. This year so far, boxing has been so good. I know as boxing fans, we complain a lot. And a lot of times when people go, man, you boxing fans complain a lot, I'm like, yo, we got the right to. Yo, no other fan base, like sporting fan base, pays as much as us. You got to pay the zone. You got to pay ESPN Plus if you want to watch all the fights, you know, or rewatch certain fights. We got to pay Showtime, pay-per-views. So, you complain, it's like, yo, bro, we have the right. And also, I feel like boxing fans, we travel a lot. You know, people be like, oh, there's a fight in PA. Yo, there's a fight in Minnesota. Yo, there's a fight in Vegas. There's a fight in Miami. Yo, we'll travel and we'll spend a lot of money. So when people tell me boxing fans complain too much, I'm like, yo, we have the right to. But this year, honestly, have we gotten every single fight we wanted? No, but yo, we've gotten a lot of them. Spence Crawford, Stephen Fulton, Inoue, you know, Benavidez, Plant, you know, Matias versus Romero Ponce was not a fight we asked for, but it was a fight when it got announced. We were anticipating it being a war. We were like, whoa, like this is a good one. Like this is a good one. Like just the fighting styles, it ended up being more one-sided than most people had thought, but you know, we were excited for that fight. And we've gotten a lot of fights like those. And some that are unexpected entertaining fights, like Joe Cordina versus Rakimov, Beterbiev versus Anthony Yard. Like those were fights that, you know, going in, we may have thought something as opposed to how it ended. Shout out to my man Guillermo. Que lo que. Gracias por tu entrevista y videos, champ. And he put the Mexican and the Dominican flag. Oye, un saludo a toda mi gente de México que me están viendo. En verdad, estoy muy agradecido con el cariño que has recibido de los mexicanos. Y siempre me han tratado bien. Saludo a México y claro, sí, siempre voy a apoyar el boxeo, específicamente el boxeo dominicano, pero también me gustan los boxeadores mexicanos. Hay muchos guerreros allá en el sur de Texas. Hay mucho. Tú sabes, peleadores muy fuertes y bueno. Oh, somebody making a prediction. Canelo wins over Charlo by stoppage. And he put in parentheses, body shot. I don't think he stops him. I think one, Charlo's tough enough. And I believe he has good enough defense where he'll be able to dance and move around and not get stopped. Even if he is losing the fight. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, let's say it's a 10th round and he's already losing 8-2. You know, I think he can. All right, let me survive the 11th and let me survive the 12th. I think he can do that. I'll be honest with you. And I still don't know how I see the fight, right? So there is that aspect of Canelo's on the downslope. We've seen him not look good against Bivol, not look good against Triple G, not look good against Ryder. That's 3 fights in a row. That's not exactly nothing. You know what I'm saying? He did fight a lot and had a long training camps for when he went undisputed in less than a year. I don't know how much that took out of him. Also, he's been pro for 15 years or something like that? More than 15 years. I think he's been pro for 18 years. That's a lot of wear and tear. That's not to count if he had any amateur fights or so they may just be wear and tear and him slowing down. He claims at the press conference that he knows why he hasn't looked good and he's made adjustments. We'll see. I don't know what he meant by that. We'll see. He did look in real shape. He actually looked like really trim, really like skinny. Not, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Skinny like in the like he working out. He in shape. He looked in really good cardio shape. That's probably the best way to put it. It's one thing to be like, oh no, he looks strong. He looked brolic. No. He just, you can tell he was in very, very good cardio shape. His face was really, really thin. In a good way, not in a weight drain way. His face was really, really thin, and he just looked good. He looked good physically. So I don't know if he made adjustments to his diet, or maybe he's doing more stretches. I have no idea. But my point is, he claims he's made adjustments, and he knows why he hasn't looked good the last 2-3 performances. And we'll see. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting fight because again, Charlo, he was on top of the world when he beat Castano, undisputed, knocked out, man, and he was top 5 on my pound for pound list. But then by the time he'll fight in September, it'll be like a year and a half since he fought. So he's coming off a long layoff, and he's moving up 14 pounds, 2 weight classes. And Joan Guzman said he wants him to be the full 168. How does that extra weight affect your body? I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Also, all right, let's just say the weight's not a problem, because the way Joan Guzman explained it to me, he's like, the problem is the weight class when you're going down. Like if this was a catch weight, or if he was moving down a division, that's when you really got to worry about the weight. But moving up in weight, it's not that big of a deal in terms of how it is going to affect his body. And then and that him and Canelo are basically the same size, regardless of what weight class they fight at. But I don't know if that's true, man. All right, Canelo's taking punches from 75 pounders, 68 pounders. And he's knocked out 68 pounders, knocked out 75 pounders. So this 54 pounder is going to move up. And his first fight, he's taking on the undisputed champ at 168, coming off a long layoff himself. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can pick him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Joan Guzman is there. So obviously, I'm definitely interested and probably leaning that side in terms of my rooting. But in terms of like who I think wins, I haven't made my final pick, but I kind of have to lean Canelo. Just Canelo he hits really hard, and he's very good at like hurting his opponent. And what I mean by that is a lot of people make fun of the arm shots that he had with Bivol, but he was fucking Bivol's arm up. I don't know if you remember in the post-fight interview, Bivol was like, man, like I can't even raise my arm, and he switched the belt that he had on his whichever, I think it was his left arm. He switched it to his right because his arm was so hurt. The same thing with Callum Smith. His arm was hurt, and he broke Billy Joe Saunders' face. Knocked out Caleb Plant. Like, this guy hitting hard. So I'm just curious. You moving up to 68, and the first time you fight somebody is a very, very hard 68 power punching undisputed champion. Like you see what I'm saying? It gets a little bit difficult for me to be like, yeah, you're gonna be Canelo. Like, yo, bro, you haven't fought in a year and a half, and this is the guy you choose to fight in this weight class. So I that's why I'm leaning Canelo, but we'll see. I wish I had a look into Charlo's training camp. I wish I could go one day and just see him spar for like a week. That would be super dope. Because then I would kind of have an idea as to what their game plan is. But I we'll see what it is. Maybe it's to keep the distance and fight off the ropes. I'm not sure, but it's definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be an interesting fight in terms of styles. Yeah, so Canelo, shout out my man Joan. Yo, by the way, if Joan Guzman got Canelo and taught him some tricks, it would be crazy. Because Canelo has that shifty, good waist movement. I want to say he has good head movement, good waist movement. He doesn't have really good feet, but although Joan Guzman did have good feet, He was more known for his head movement and his rolling with punches and hip movement himself. So I just started thinking to myself, I'm like, man, that would be super dope. Like if Canelo like added Joan Guzman. Obviously, that's just a thought that ran through my head during the press conference when Canelo shouted out Guzman. But that's something I thought. I was like, whoa, like I never thought of that combination until he complimented him. But yeah, man, I gotta get Joam on more often. Me and him, we spoke. I was like, yo, bro, like you gotta come on. Honestly, he's been putting more to pressure. Like, yo, I gotta come on more often, and it's true, man. If he's offering, he's the GOAT. Why not have him on every Sunday with me and my man Everson Garcia? You know, that would be dope. That would be dope. I met his son. I met Joan Guzman's son. His name is Joan Jr. And he told me he wants to put him to fight. And he was like, yeah, I want to fight. The kid told me he wants to fight. I was like, okay, like, that's what's up. The kids, he looked like he was about 16, 17. So, he's a bit older to start boxing, but shit, it's never too late. You fuck around, go pro at 25. Fuck it. Your father's Joan. They'll move you up the rankings quick. I told him straight up, I was like, yo, I'll be interviewed. I was like, you'll have your dad training you, and you have me interviewing you. You know what I'm saying? Get your name up. I would love to see that. That would be dope. You imagine Joan Guzman get a son and he ends up being nice like that? That would be fire. That would be fire. Tyson Fury versus Ngannou. I have no idea, my brother. I have no idea. I mean, I guess I would favor Tyson Fury, but I don't know, man. Ngannou, I've seen him score some nasty knockouts, so I'll give him a puncher's chance for sure, man. A puncher's chance for sure. All right. I got a question. If the Mexican boxers are so good, come on, man. What do you mean last real undisputed champion? What are you talking about? They got Canelo, who's currently undisputed. What are you talking about, brother? Are you okay? I don't know. Their last real undisputed champion. How is Canelo not a real undisputed champion? That makes no sense. He has all 4 belts. You know what I'm saying? I guess the only way you can say he's not a real champ is because how he got the WBC belt, how they made it vacant for when he fought was his name Callum Smith, but had to fight what's this guy name? Yildirim right after. Like maybe that's why, but not to me. He's a real undisputed champion. I don't know. I like Canelo, man. People shit on Canelo so much. Yeah, I would like to see him fight Benavidez too. Honestly, I was very disappointed when he announced that when it became clear he wasn't going to fight Benavidez. That's probably a better way to put it, because that's the fight I want to see. I want to see Canelo versus Benavidez. I think that the more Canelo waits, the worse it's going to get for him, because he's only going to get worse, and Benavidez is only going to get more experience, which is what Canelo has over Benavidez. So I don't get why he's waiting and doing all that shit. I honestly don't understand that at all. I really don't. No disrespect, but I just don't understand that. Also, with Benavidez, you would have made the most money. Like, you got to think about it. Like, he gonna make good money with Charlo, and maybe not as good as I thought, because I was expecting Charlo to talk a little bit more shit at the press conferences. And I'm not condoning it or telling him that that's what he should be doing. What I'm saying is, we all know that Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather, they were good. They were good trash talkers. And that sold the fight, you know, whether it rubbed people the wrong way or not. And I consider Charlo a very good trash talker, but he decided not to use it, and just because how much respect he has for Canelo, which I'm not going to say Canelo doesn't deserve respect. He has had a great career, so I can understand that. Like, yo, I'm fighting the legend. That I'll do that for these little motherfuckers that that they don't got no name, they haven't accomplished nothing. I don't respect. This guy's undisputed, just like me. I'm definitely gonna give him the respect. I could definitely understand that, but I was counting on him yapping his mouth a little bit more and this making the press conference a little bit more spicy. I actually predicted that they might scuffle. You know what I'm saying? Because he might say something, he about that like, and Canelo not no hoe. Canelo be like, what? What you said? Get up and start scrapping. I thought I was predicting something like that, but they both kept it real respectful. When Derek James walked to the podium, he went and shake Canelo and Eddie Reynoso's hand before he had a seat. So almost like very respectful from both teams. And then again, Canelo goes up, talks about Guzman, how much respect he has for him. The press conference didn't go as I thought it would, to be honest with you. But yeah, man. Nah, you think Canelo is scared to fight Benavidez? Shit. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say he's scared because he's still fighting good competition. He is still fighting good competition, and even if you say Charlo's too small, he's really a 54-pounder. This and that. And Canelo's gonna have the size advantage. Honestly, that's not the reaction I'm getting when I speak to most people. Most people are not telling me like, "Come on, this is an uncompetitive fight. Why is Canelo doing this?" No, nobody's telling me that. Some people are even picking Charlo. Some people are saying this is a close fight. Some people saying that they don't know. They just think it's interesting. And, obviously more people are picking Canelo, but it doesn't seem like a straight consensus where it's like, 80% of people think he's winning or 100% he's going to win or saying this is a mismatch. There's nobody saying that. Hold on one second. I got my man, Chris. What's up, man? Sock Passe.
Sock Passe, what's good, my nigga? Long time no talk. You gotta talk.
Bro, I thought my Haitian brother was like, fuck Dominicans and just stop fucking with me.
It is fuck Dominicans, but not you though.
No, hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't get booted off the fucking chat, bro.
I'm fucking with you. Yo, I'm hearing my man's go live talking real greasy to Suleiman because Suleiman talking disrespectful to you because y'all watch that interview. Everything you said was fair and on board, bro. Don't let these corny ass motherfuckers who are controlled by money dare disrespect you, bro. You built this brand.
Man, like, yo, I don't know who the fuck he thought he was writing that letter to, and
like we not from New York, yo, bro, like we won't like real talk. If it wasn't for the access to boxing and shit, like yo, nigga, like niggas would smack the shit out you. You not Jose Suleiman, nigga. Like nigga, you bitch. Straight up and down. Nah, bro, because at the end of the day, you have integrity.
Hold on. Listen, I just want to make it clear. I'm not smacking the shit out of nobody. I just didn't like his questioning my credentials. Talk about
your integrity. You built this shit from the ground up, bro.
Yo, bro, that I'm a pseudo journalist and that. Oh yeah,
bro. Let me tell you something. I saw you with the Nas and Jay-Z shit from being outside to doing this. I saw you come up, bro. You did this shit off of integrity and on the arm, bro. So
and not only that, even if he wants to get to the point where like, all right, well, you don't have a degree. Like, yes, I do, motherfucker. I got a college degree in journalism from Hunter College.
Fuck all the college shit, bro. It's this. You did this
what I'm saying is he can't even bring that to the table because
I feel you, but it goes without saying. Like the way you interview people, the way your line of questioning is somebody who's well schooled. So ultimately, that's a moot point at that. But like, I just wanted to say first, start off with that, bro. I'm happy how you held yourself down and everything, and I just want to touch on the one more topic from that. Adames deserves a title shot, and ultimately, I think as you can see, Adames is probably going to get fucked over even worse now after you just putting that heat on him. I think he should go to a different sanctioning belt body, and I'm most likely he's going to win a world title because as we see how disgusting and how divisive the politics is, and mind you, this is a PBC fighter, so ultimately this shows you. People have their fucking picks and whatever. So that's why Terrence Crawford didn't want to go to the PBC for how long. And I told you that in a couple lives ago. But now to the topic at hand. Oh wow, this is bad for women's boxing because this is someone who is the who could be the face of women's boxing. She can box, she can fight, she's really good at what she does. She's appealing to the eye. She's a star. So ultimately, this coming up now does not look good for her. I hope this thing gets properly adjudicated and all the facts come out. But this doesn't look good because ultimately is this now people are going to start questioning. Oh, was she on it with Terry Harper? Was she on it with? And I don't want that to happen because also
I'll be honest with you. This isn't as big of a blow to women's boxing as you think, man. Like,
talk to me. What?
who the fuck is gonna stop watching women's? If you were already watching women's boxing, there's no reason why this is gonna fucking stop you from watching it again.
You're
I
right.
don't think
You're
it's
right.
that
You're
big of
right.
a
You're right.
blow,
You're
but
right.
I do think that it's eye opening that even women are using this shit. Like that's what's eye opening. We know men been doing this shit, but
It's
I can't. At least you would correct me if I'm wrong. I don't
it's.
follow women's boxing like that.
I know. I don't follow women boxing like that, and haven't been really a
But
connoisseur.
who has tested positive on the women's side? Is that like a thing?
I don't think that's a thing. That's more in athletics, like track and field,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. That's
But
what I'm saying. Like this shit creeping in and out to women's sports. I'm like, whoa.
but you have to understand the training is the training. The hard work is the hard work. The injuries are the same. The amount of stress and trauma might be even uh more impactful on the women as opposed to the men due to our anatomy and physiology. But be that as it may, man, everybody. You just gotta have this statement, and it may be a blanket statement in a generalization, which isn't true. But once, if you come into this sport specifically, just think everybody's on the BS, and and you take it from there. Everybody's doing pegs until otherwise. You feel me? So you just got to take it from there, bro. And it's sad that this happened to her because she's somebody that she
Well, I
grinded the
mean, it's
hard.
not it's not sad that it happened to her if she took it. It's sad that she's doing it. Not
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's sad. It's sad for the sport. That I'm sorry.
yeah.
I just want to get my sentiments straight.
Nah, I got
Sad
you.
for the
I got you.
sport. Yeah, it's sad for the
Yeah,
sport
but
because
like
if
like I
she,
said, earlier in the show, let's hear what comes of it because we haven't heard an official statement from the commission or Lou DiBella. So I want to know what's gonna happen with her titles, what's gonna happen with that win, what's gonna happen, with the suspension. That's what I want to know.
my my thing is this: if it comes out that she actually did do all of this and all of this is true, you gotta take it just like how the men did it because they vacated wins for Mike Tyson, Pernell Whitaker, and a whole bunch of people who've tested positive and weren't on board, and those are
Yeah,
bigger
we'll see,
fighters
we'll
than her.
see, we'll see.
Yo, but not Navarrete, man. One of the most unorthodox fighters I've ever seen in my life, bro. Like
Yeah, but it
he,
fucking works, bro. He throws punches from weird angles and all this shit, but it works. He even one time in the first round grabbed fucking Valdez and punched him on the top of the head. He was doing some weird old shit, but it works, man.
it works, bro, because you see it now. Navarrete at the no Valdez at the end of the fight had a titty on his face.
Yo, that dude definitely I was looking crazy.
Crazy lump. Like you ever tag a dude up and everything? Like damn, after the fight, like yo, I really love boy up. Like like I lump boy up, but like that's
Yo,
how
and Navarrete looked clean, bro. Navarrete after the fight looked like he was just fucking gardening or some shit.
It's crazy though. Navarrete was getting the shit punched out of him. He got hit with some hard shit though, on some real shit. Like some of them right hooks and left hooks that he was getting caught by, not hurting him. Some hard faced motherfucker. Like you
Nah,
gotta you gotta
yo,
hit him
he
with a
looked way
sledgehammer.
bigger than Valdez. Yo, he looked like he was like a 135 pounder against a 126 pounder. That's how
Yo,
much bigger he looked.
yo, the crazy part of it is this too. He started his career as a flyweight, 112, Navarrete,
That's crazy.
and for him to be that big, bro, is ridiculous. Like, and the thing is, he probably can't even make 130, bro. Like they say that's probably might be his last fight at 30. Like how are you that big, bro? And
I don't know, man. If he moves up to 35, shit, that he has a common opponent with he has two common opponents with Shakur Stevenson,
Shakur be his last.
and they on the same side of the street, so
Yeah,
that could be
Shakur.
an opponent.
You heard what I said? Shakur be his ass.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right, that's fine. But like, yo, could we see the fights? I'm tired of people telling me that Shakur beat somebody and then the fight never happens. Like because Shakur would beat him. All right, well, if he could beat him, then can we see it? Could we not see him against Yoshino or some other motherfucker like that?
yeah, bro. But like I would like to see Shakur against De Los Santos. That's a good fight. I would like to see him against
Wrong side of the street.
yeah, bro. Yeah, yo. Your Dominican brother unfortunately got sacrificed to Terrence Crawford all those years ago. They can make that happen.
Come on, man. No, man, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. From what I'm hearing, I haven't heard like
De Los Santos is a fucking problem, bro. Like he punch hard as shit. He's defensively sound and responsible. And yo, bro, he knocked off two of the dudes. He knocked off one of their big prospects in Rio, who was a puncher who was knocking people out and everything. Then they decapitated him, beat up on a top rank reject in Adorno, who's a good fighter. Like, hey, if that's the case, I know you may not want to see this, but hey, Elvis Rodriguez versus De Los Santos. That's a good fight.
Elvis
Because
Rodriguez, a 140 pound champ, 40-pound
well,
fighter.
oh, I thought he was at 35. My bad, bro. My bad.
You bugging, man. You bugging. Nah,
But
nah,
that's
nah.
good. That would be a good fight because
I
hey,
want to see Elvis Rodriguez versus Gary Antoine Russell. That's what I want.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. And hey, he might be the favorite to win that fight, bro.
Listen, I don't know if he'd be the favorite, but that's who I'm picking. I'm picking him by KO too.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna hold you. The Bartholomew fight made me look at him like, and you duck Puello for a title shot. Yeah,
Facts.
yeah, you look suspect, bro. And you hear Gary Russell Jr. Yo, I'm interested in finding Inoue. Okay,
I have heard that, but he better. He got too much dip on his chip, man. I don't know.
yeah, bro. Yeah, that motherfucker Inoue is not like,
Not
hey,
even that. Like, yo, bro, that fight makes no sense for Inoue. That fight makes no sense.
because think about it like this: if Gary turns up rested and healthy, hey, I know what Gary Russell do in that ring though.
Gary said he wants to be a champ at 130. So,
But
shit.
why? So why he talking? Why he talking about? Man, he's
No. He basically saying like if the opportunity presented itself, he'll fight Inoue.
okay. No problem. Well, he
Yeah.
need to move up to 30 because at the
I
end of
want
the
to see
day,
him and Cobra get it on.
that's a good fight. I never even thought about that. I thought Colbert was gonna fight Tank though.
Nah, Cobra not fighting Tank. Cobra fighting Rayo.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? Yo, Tank is built to be this big superstar puncher and everything. He has power. He's skillful. I give him that. But you have De Los Santos. You have. I'm talking about
Yo,
people
but
in
hold on,
Saudi.
Tank just got out of jail though, bro.
I'm just talking about and like yo, bro. Prior to jail, he had people he could fight, bro. He ducked Tevin Farmer, he ducked Lomachenko, and those things could not be refuted at all.
Nah, the Tevin Farmer one. I'm gonna disagree with you.
Talk to me, why?
They offered Tevin Farmer some money. I actually had him on my channel, and
They all,
he was saying that he wanted a percentage, and they were like, "Nah, you're gonna get a flat free," and he didn't want to do it.
but they say this. Matchroom offered Javante Tank Davis $8 million to fight him on the zone. So ultimately, yo, if your handlers believe in you and you willing and you give them a counter offer of $3 million, a flat fee, when when the platform Farmer was on gave you $5 million more.
Yeah, but
That's bad.
Showtime is not gonna send one of their biggest attractions over to the zone, no matter what. You know that, bro. That's like me telling you,
I
like,
feel
yo,
you.
why Shakur don't fight on Showtime and fight
I
Tank?
I feel you, but I've seen fights get done, and I've seen people
Not
beat
at that
system.
magnitude, brother. Not at that magnitude. Now, if you talk about, oh yeah, we're gonna send Jose Ramirez to the zone, yeah, that's fine. All right, but you're not sending fucking your biggest fighter. You imagine Shakur Stevenson fighting Tank on Showtime only. That's it. No ESPN's in the deal. Nothing. It's not gonna happen.
I think Bob would be perfectly fine with it
No, he wouldn't. No, he would not.
because I think Bob believes in Shakur that much. I think Bob. One thing about Bob is this: if he really truly believes in you, he'll roll the dice.
Nah, my
He'll
man.
roll the dice.
What
Think
what
about
what
it.
what, what
Bob,
example? What examples do you have of Bob Arum doing that?
outside, okay, the Jose Ramirez one, that's the only example. The other example would have been Tiafimo, but like Bob, just like yo, you think you could get more money? Cool, but Bob seems to me that he's the individual that yo, okay, cool. If there's need be, I can't get you the money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro,
and
you going by what you think. You're not going by his track record. That we got to go by his track record. He's never
uh,
sent his biggest star over to another platform, and
that's
and
true.
and it's not. And I'm not even blaming Bob Arum for not doing that.
That's
All
good
of them
business
do it.
on everybody. That's
All
good
of them
business.
do it. So it's like
That's
you telling me, yo, why Tank didn't go to the zone? That's an obvious like. Why would
but
he?
because the money's there, and
Yeah.
we're fighting for a prize,
All
aren't
right,
we?
man. All right, man. I'm gonna have to let you go, brother. I appreciate you calling in, though.
All right, peace.
All right, man. Peace. So I man, I lost track where I was going. Yeah, nah. I mean, Javante Davis, he's the one that calls the shots. Him and his team, I'll say. If you want to fight Tank, you're gonna fight on Showtime. Maybe they'll split some revenue. Maybe they'll do a network deal, like kind of like how Ryan got sent to Showtime, and you could buy the fight on the Zone, and there were certain splits that were happening, like financial splits behind the scenes that happened. It was worked out. It was worked out. They worked it out. But Tank, it worked it out on Tank's side, meaning like, all right, but you still coming on Showtime. The Showtime announces Showtime. Was it with all access, the epilogues and all that shit? You know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, Steven Espinoza said that there'll be 3 episodes of All Access, 2 before the fight, and 1 like the epilogue after the fight, showing what happened, how both opponents looked in the locker room and shit like that. So that's the situation like that. That's so funny. This dude crazy. If you want to fight Tank, you got to be 2 weight classes under him and unproven. Nah, man. I think that's been a little bit blown overboard. I mean, I don't know. Then again, his track record does show he has fought for smaller men. He fought Luis Santa Cruz, but Santa Cruz was the champion at that time, even though he was a smaller guy. He fought Hector, who was a smaller guy. He drained Ryan Garcia. These are all facts, but Pitbull Cruz was a legit lightweight. So was Rolly a legit lightweight. Not that those wins, well, the Pitbull win was a good win, but not that the Rolly win really, is anything of note. Uh, I don't know. Tank resume isn't that good, but I'm hopeful that when he comes out of jail, he'll start fighting more tough competition. Because when I spoke to him, he's on the Twitter space, it sounded like he was very motivated on Stevenson and Haney, how he wants to fight them. But it looks like Haney's moving up to 140, and Stevenson said that Bob Arum said that he's not willing to make that fight because he doesn't know it makes money. He doesn't want to take that risk or some shit like that. I'm like, all right, like I don't get it, but hey, man, that's how he chooses to run his business. Just make a bunch of like, I want to say mediocre. That's probably the wrong word, but because they do sometimes put on good fights, but like lower level fights in terms of not these huge events that PBC is doing. Like, right, when we think about huge events this year, whether it be Tank Haney, Tank Ryan or Canelo Charlo or Spence Crawford, they've all been on the PBC side. So I know they had Haney. but they had Haney Loma. That was, you know, a big fight. Did well at the gate, but it just didn't sell enough pay per views. I believe it sold 150,000, which isn't much, to be honest with you. Yeah. But all right, guys. I've been an eye for an hour. That should be about enough. I appreciate you guys hopping on. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Go to BroadwayJoel.com. Get that Dominican boxing shirt. I got them in navy. I got them in royal blue. And I got them in this beautiful red, man. This beautiful red. This is probably my second favorite one. I like the navy one best. But if you in between what color to get, just get both, man. Don't worry about it. Support your team, man. And your team is Dominican boxing. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.